Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the Blitz. I'm Jeff Taylor. That's Jack Taylor. Week 8 of the high school football season has come and gone.
Yeah, every game, every week means that much more as you get to the tail end of this season, shaping up to see what the postseason is going to look like. Of course, 8 state tournaments.
Can I say week 8 now?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe we're there.
There you go. Now you can say it.
Now I can say it.
Week 8 state tournaments, so the seeding is going to get ever so more important as you get down to it. Let's get right to it. A big game that's going to have a huge implication into the postseason. Ashbrook at home against Kings Mountain. Both teams tied for the top of the Big South Conference. Ashbrook looking to stay undefeated, but they've got one of their tougher opponents and the rivals in the Kings Mountain Mountaineers. And right off the bat, the Mountaineers defense was firing on all cylinders. William Vaughn had a huge tackle behind the backfield for a loss. Then they get the ball, and William Vaughn gets the reception.
Nice.
Making a couple
Double
guys
up.
miss. And the Boston College commit almost gets to the end zone there, but it's all right. He sets up this next play here when Kings Mountain is going to get into the end zone with the coveted now in high school as well. Tush push touchdown.
Nope.
Look at everybody's going to do it, all right?
Nope.
They have the ability to do so, so they're going to do it. Now the Mountaineers would get the extra point. They'd stop Ashbrook again, but they'd miss a field goal. So Ashbrook now has a chance to make it a tie ball game still. And look at the Savion Lindsay. The huge run, breaking tackles. William Vaughn there on the tackle, but drives him to the ground way out of bounds. Some extracurriculars after that one, giving the Green Wave a bit of a boost closer to the red zone. A.J. McLean with the fake out, makes a man miss, has a couple blockers, gets almost all the way down to the end zone. A few plays later, the Green Wave would score. The game is just now wrapping up, but right now, as it stands, I gotta say the score pretty much means Ashbrook won 43-7. They stay undefeated.
Congratulations to them. All right, on we go. Sun Valley making the trip to Charlotte Catholic. Now, early on Varsity Spotlight, a show we do every Friday, we introduce you to Sun Valley Zach Cullen, one of the best running backs in the QC. First offensive play, he shows you why.
Wow.
He's going to go 63 yards. That is a tough run. He's going to set up his team. The nice tackle, though, right there, shoestring tackle, sets Sun Valley up inside the 10. The momentum, not very long, however. Very next play, the pass to the outside. Wyatt Lindberry, he's going to cough it up after the hard hit. Catholic,
no.
yeah. Catholic would recover. However, get this, Catholic's offense, they seem to struggle all night long. They do nothing with a turnover. Late in the first quarter, Sun Valley 4th and 1 near midfield. Guess what? Zach Cullen gets the yardage, the tough yardage for the first down, keeping the drive alive. Started the second, and QB Noah Lindberry will evade a few defenders and find, guess who? Zach Cullen.
Wow.
For the big gain. Then a few plays later, Sun Valley scores on a pass play, which, my apologies, I didn't shoot this very well. I was a little off. Andrew Duty is going to actually come up with it in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Sun Valley goes on a 7-0 lead. The Spartans going to win this one big. They shut out Charlotte Catholic 21-0. By the way, Catholic's homecoming. Not a way to celebrate your homecoming.
Yeah, Sun Valley was not off in this one. That's a huge win for the Spartans, and it's going to really set up that conference big. Hey, and there was a couple other big scores tonight. Let's take a look at some of them now before we go to break. We've got some big games here to take a look at. Independence getting a big win at home over Julius Chambers.
Big win.
Palisades beating Ballantyne Ridge by 40 points in that one.
That's strong. Philip O'Berry, Harding University pulls out a win there, 16-7. Philip O'Berry kind of struggling this year.
And so is Salisbury. They cannot get anything going non-conference or conference. Northwest Cabarrus getting the 30-point victory over the Hornets. Finally, Lake Norman continuing to fire on all cylinders, winning over South Iredell. North Iredell, not so much.
Yeah, Mooresville, hey, that game's coming at the end of the season.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Lake Norman, and right now the way it looks, it's going to be a battle as it always is.
Absolutely, but that's going to be a great game. And don't go away. We've got more of the Blitz coming at you next with our recap of our game of the week between Marvin Ridge and Porter Ridge. Welcome back to the Blitz, everyone. I'm Jack Taylor alongside Jeff Taylor. Our WCCB game of the week was a battle of the Ridges with Porter Ridge traveling to Marvin Ridge.
Now this one would come down to the final seconds, and on the call for that game, we had Darren Vaught and Reggie Walker, and they join us now with a recap. Guys?
Rivalry contest between Porter Ridge and Marvin Ridge, close as it always seems to be for our WCCB game of the week. Reggie, this was tight down to the very finish. We had some scheming with timeouts and time management from both head coaches. A really good game.
Yeah, it really was. You look at it from the standpoint of offensively, both teams very effective in their running game. And then we saw passing games that were able to make plays as well in big spots. This is an excellent throw right here. Voss goes up and makes the catch, puts his team in a good spot. But then defensively, Porter Ridge, this is what they do. They take the football away.
Christian Cawthon with the interception and a 32-yard return for the score. That kept it from staying close at that point. Marvin Ridge, prior to that pass, was only down 3 and was surging. But Levi Kerr, the sophomore QB, making just his second start of the season, finds Boston College commit Alex Voss again to keep it tight. Marvin Ridge not able to get the stop that they wanted in order to set up a field goal down the stretch. Porter Ridge gets the victory, advances to 6-2 on the season.
All right, that was a big one. Let's take a look back at the Big South. Crest trying to stay in contention for the top. They get a big play here. Michael Edwards with a big chunk of yardage as they're trying to power ahead through Hunter Huss on the road. But Hunter Huss, the Huskies won't go down without a fight. It's 14-7 at this point. They get a big stop to get the ball back. Upset brewing, but they're going to be pinned back far in their own end zone, red zone area, and they're going to eventually have to punt out of their own end zone. Get a good one out of it, but Namaje Thompson turns on the Jets. He's got some blockers, but maybe too many blockers than he would have liked.
No, come on.
All the way down, gets called back for multiple blocks in the backs. So one's declined, one's accepted, putting him way back far. But quarterback, wearing number 0, Eli Hamrick says, let me just take care of this, all right? He gets a bounce out, a bounce in, breaking a tackle, breaking a tackle. He'll go down there. A few plays later, he calls his own number again, breaking a tackle, waiting for it. Right across the goal line, they win 62-7 in a big one.
All right, final stop of the night. Charlotte Latin playing host to Cannon. The Hawks led 17-7 at the half. Start of the second half, Cannon finds some life. QB Lucas Lopez somehow or another avoids all the sacks, calls his shot downfield. Marcus Sales comes down with a great catch, setting up the Cougars inside the 15-yard line. Latin's defense, however, would hold up, and Cannon would come away with no points. So, first drive for Charlotte Latin. Actually, check this out. Back up, yeah. Here's where we're going to get where they sack him here. That means they come away with nothing.
Forever.
He ran around forever. So Cannon gets the ball back. They're going to go through the air. Dylan Mulligan is going to come up with a nice leap to make the catch coming over the middle. That would set the Hawks up inside the 15. A few plays later, Dijon John Douglas actually gets the handoff. He's going to come right to your living room. He scores. Charlotte Latin up 24-7. They go on to win this one 38-17.
Bunch of great games there and a bunch more of great games to come, both tonight and throughout the week.
Yep, that is it for the Blitz for Week 8. Stay tuned. Up next, WCCB News Edge. We'll see you next Friday night on the Blitz. But as we go to break, take a look at one final look at our scoreboards from around the area.